All right, guys, we are here back today for chapter 3, and Riley and I are so excited to reveal to you what the animal that Lily wanted to play with was. We loved looking at some of your responses. Riley's also really excited about this peanut butter, which she's getting because she was listening in chapter 1 when she said that the child's hands smelled like peanut butter, and now she's like, how come that puppy gets peanut butter and I don't? That just doesn't seem fair. Annie is over on the couch living her best life, so she's going to get her peanut butter Kong a little bit later. And never mind, here she comes. And you'll also see behind me are some of Mr. Tullin's plants that you've heard so much about. Those are just a very small percentage because he has so many in our garage right now. Okay, let me get Annie hers. Stay. And Riley's wearing her flamingo shirt. Really Mr. Tulin shirt, but we just wanted to dress up and make it a little funny today. Here you go, Ian. And we're hoping for better weather because you know what? The coronavirus has us all staying inside, staying away from people, but that doesn't mean we can't still go for a walk, staying away from people, and so we don't get too stir crazy in the house. So that's what we've been doing. My shirt says, I just want all the dogs because, duh, you guys know me. I want all the dogs. Why it's so dangerous every time I go to, oh my gosh, she has like her paw right on me right now. You can see. But we really enjoyed looking at the Google Classroom, seeing what you guys thought Lily was going to meet today. So why don't we get to the big reveal and we'll start reading to you chapter 3. All right, chill. It's not going anywhere. Jeez. Okay, here we go. Chapter 3. Maggie Rose didn't seem to understand that I wanted to wrestle with this new and interesting not dog. She hadn't understood that I wanted to play with Freddie either. To make things clearer to her, they can't hear over you because you're licking it so loud. They cannot listen. There you go. I pawed playfully at the smooth door again. No, Lily, Sammy can't come out, Maggie Rose said, laughing. We're not supposed to play with him or touch him at all. He's a squirrel. He is not a pet. Oh my goodness, who would have thought there was a squirrel in there? That's why his cage is glass. The kind of glass where we can see him, but he can't see us. We're just taking care of him until his leg is better, and then he'll go back to the park. He can't get used to people feeding him or petting him or dogs playing with him, or he won't be safe in the wild. See? That kind of reminds me when we were reading about the orca whales where they said that once they get taken care of so much, it's hard for them to go back in the wild because they can't hunt or anything like that. My dad rescued him. He is a game warden. He found Sammy caught in an illegal trap, and he even arrested the man who put the trap out. The animal was moving in such a tantalizing manner. Quick little hops, its head making sudden jerky movements. I knew it must want to play. Chase me! I peered up at Maggie Rose and whined a little. I was wagging my tail so hard that it thumped against my rump. Why didn't she understand? I needed her to open that gate. Oh my gosh, Riley, you are so loud. Can you not be that loud? Can't you just lick it? Here, say hi to everybody. No, all you want is this toy. And the peanut butter. That is just ridiculous. That is just crazy. You are crazy. Can we read the story now? All right. Better leave Sammy alone. Lily, come with me, Maggie Rose said. She scooped me up. I was astounded that we were leaving again. Why show me these wonderful playmates if they had to remain in their cages? Oh well, if I can't play chase me with Sammy, at least I was able to snuggle with Maggie Rose. I leaned into her very content. It was as nice as pressing up against my mother's side. Better even, because there was no risk of a couple of my brothers stampeding over me and crushing me. Maggie Rose took me along a hallway lined with great big snacks, even one bigger than my mother. They smelled marvelous. I wiggled, ready to get down and sniff a sack close up and maybe get my teeth into the paper that covered it and pull hard enough to make whatever was inside spill out. But Maggie Rose held me close. No, Lily, you're too young to eat regular dog food, she told me, and when you're old enough, your family will put in a bowl for you. We were approaching a door, and I heard a frightened yip from the other side, and then another, and then another, and I could tell that there was a very unhappy dog inside. She smelled older than I was, but younger than my mother. She was a girl, and her barks told me that she was terrified. Maggie Rose pushed the door open, and I saw the tall woman with short black hair was holding a small dog on the table. Carefully, she wrapped white stuff around one of the dog's legs. I remembered that the woman's name was Amelia. The white lump on the dog's leg looked a lot like what Sammy had been dragging around. Was that what we were all in this place? To get our legs wrapped up in white stuff? When was my turn? Could Amelia do my brother's first? Shut the door, Maggie Rose. I don't want this little girl to get loose, Amelia asked. Okay, you have to get this. We got to get this away from her because she is just so. These doggies are so noisy. All right, here we go. No, Lily, you're too young. Oop, I'm sorry. I missed telling to start it all over again. The frightened dog was trembling under Amelia's hands. She wasn't a puppy, but she was tiny, smaller than I was. Astounding. Every dog I'd ever met before was bigger than I was. I just assumed that I was the littlest puppy ever, but this female was the smallest dog imaginable. Amelia's hand could wrap around her entire rib cage. The girl dog did not look at me. Instead of sleek short fur and gray and white splotches, she had wiry black fur that stood up in all different directions. The tufts were shaking with fright. I wagged. Why was she so frightened? Can I help? Is she a stray? Maggie Rose asked. Nope, just lost. Someone found her on the streets and brought her in. She's got a bite on her leg. I guess she tangled with something. Maybe a raccoon? A little Yorkie like this is no match for a big, aggressive raccoon. Will she be all right? Maggie Rose asked. I think so, Amelia replied. I cleaned the bite and gave her a stitch, and when her owner gets back, we'll send her home with antibiotics so the wound doesn't get infected. She should have been kept indoors or in a fenced-in yard, but people don't always do that. Still, the good news is she's microchipped, so I already called her family. I know. You like the story? They'll be in to get her right away. Her name is Missy. There, sweetie. Don't be scared. Your leg's all fixed. Good dog, Missy, Maggie Rose said. Poor thing is terrified, Amelia said sympathetically. She's probably been shaking since she's tussled with that raccoon. Why are you still so upset, Missy? You're safe. Here you go. Amelia bent over to pet the little dog. Missy put the little dog Missy on the floor. Missy sat down, hunched over, with her head low and her ears nearly flat against her skull. She had been happy on the table, and now she was not happy to be on the floor. She kept trembling. Go say hi, Lily. Oh, is there still some peanut butter on your blanket, Annie? Is that what you are tasting? Amelia. Go say hi, Lily, Maggie Rose told me. She set me down on the floor, too. I studied Missy. She was not ready to play. If I bounded up to her as my big brothers did to me, it would only scare her more. She might even snap at me. She looked and smelled terrified enough to do it. But there wasn't anything to be afraid of here. There was just Maggie Rose, who was gentle and nice, and Amelia, who was probably nice too. I figured that out because Maggie Rose was talking to her and smiling. And if Maggie Rose felt okay with Amelia, then Amelia was okay with me. I was the only one living thing in this room. And I wasn't scary. I was a puppy. I patted a little closer to Missy, and then I stopped and wagged my tail. This is how I wished my brothers would come close to me. Slowly, calmly, so I could tell that what they were going to do next. I kept my head and ears up, but not so high that Missy would think that I wanted to boss her around. I didn't want to boss her. I just wanted to play with her. I moved a little closer. Riley, stop licking the computer. Come here. Come here. I wish you guys could see her right now. She's literally on top of the computer. Come on. He's silly. You want to help me finish the story? We're almost done. Missy lowered her head a little bit and studied me cautiously. I stopped and waited, and Missy's ears lifted. They seemed friendly. I crept closer and sniffed Missy all over. She still smelled scared, but not as scared as before. She smelled like Amelia's hands, and the white thing on her leg had a strange, sharp odor that I did not like. What do you think that is? If they just helped clean it out, what would the strong odor be? Maybe medicine or something like that? But Missy's fur had a lot of very interesting scents. It smelled a bit like Maggie Rose's shoes, with hints of a place I had never been. Some place out there bigger than my kennel, some place with dirt and air and wind and lots of animals and people. One animal's odor in particular stood out in Missy's scruffy fur. It smelled like a knot dog and a little bit like Freddie, wild and untamed. There's apparently very many knot dogs I needed to meet and play with. I was certainly learning a lot this day. It seemed as if the moment Maggie Rose picked me up, my world became much bigger and my life changed. Now Missy was sniffing me back, paying particular attention under my tail and between my rear legs. This was, I decided, how grown-up dogs greeted each other for the first time, with a polite sniff to the butt. Missy shook herself. I shook too, just to be friendly. And then Missy pushed at me a little with her nose. I pushed back, I nibbled at her face, and she shook herself and darted away. I flopped over on my back legs in the air. Missy limped over and put her good paw across my belly. I wiggled. She jumped away and bowed, front legs low, back legs high, tiny tail wiggling. In a moment, we were wrestling. At last, I finally found a new friend to wrestle with. I knew to go easy with Missy because her leg hurt her, and I could tell by the way that her scent changed when she put weight on it. But she did not let that stop her. It was fun playing with a small dog instead of 3 big brothers. Missy knew when to stop, too. When she bit down on my ear and I yipped, she backed off right away. I liked Missy. Oh, look, I heard Maggie Rose say. Lily got Missy to play. She's not so scared now. Lily, is that the puppy's name now? Good work, Lily, Amelia smiled. A puppy can cheer anybody up. Did you see how gentle Lily was at first? Maggie Rose asked. She must have sensed how afraid Missy was feeling. Amelia agreed. Dogs can pick up on fear. I heard a door open somewhere, and in a moment, a woman rushed into the room. A boy, Maggie Rose's age, followed behind her. Oh, Missy, the woman wailed. Missy stopped chewing on my face to bound over to the woman's feet. The woman's tears flowing down her cheeks snatched the little dog up and hugged her and held her close. I was frantic. I just looked around and she was gone. It's been 2 days, she cried. Missy was not scared at all now. Missy was very, very happy. This weeping woman was Missy's person. I realized with a jolt of understanding, this is why Missy was so overjoyed. In that instant, I understood something new. My life here in this place with my mother and my big, heavy brothers was a good life, but it was not what a dog needed the most. To be truly happy, a dog needs to be like Missy and have a person of her own. Did I have a person? I looked up at Maggie Rose. Woo! All right, that was it for chapter 3. And my dogs are not happy apparently because they're over there play fighting themselves, just like Missy and Lily were playing, but they're not playing as nice. If you see, let's see if we can get you a video of them. Riley kind of going and biting at Annie's ear. Annie is not having it. So, what do you think that Lily is thinking right now as she looks up at Maggie Rose? And what do you think she's hoping for? Go ahead and comment in our Google Classroom links. And we are going to continue finding out tomorrow about Lily's adventure with Maggie throughout the animal shelter and see what happens next and what other creatures she might come into contact with. I'll see you guys tomorrow for chapter 4.